Hello, True North team. This is Christoph with Kaiserworks with a follow-up to our previous presentation concentrating on the southeast corner of 9th Street in McKinley. This is directly south of the 9th Street Church. I'm going to be presenting three different concepts. The first one we are calling Brick House. And Brick House is a fun, somewhat whimsical sculptural form. I'm just pulling us into the digital model here. That is derivative of the architecture directly across the street. So this is an effort to create a dialogue between both it, the church, and the historic context of these homes, all of which have these very distinct roof forms. The geometry itself, you can see here, is basically taking the inverse of what creates the arch form in the church across the street and using that to difference these volumes from a solid brick form, and here the largest one is the one that creates this interior space. What we're proposing programmatically is something like a tea house, Teespressa, let's say, and whether it's that or a small restaurant, we feel that it would most likely be contingent on using the adjacent space. In this case, we have this existing bungalow right next door for back of house. So in this secondary volume, you would have most likely your ADA accessible bathrooms, you'd have your commercial kitchen, and you would have storage, for example, and that would let, whether it's this concept or one of the other ones I'll be presenting, lets this remain more pure and sculptural, and let it read like something like an art piece. This last slide is simply precedent of brick being used in sculptural ways, and again, this is, we feel, taking a material that is so universal in historic districts and reintroducing it in a way that is artful and sculptural would be could really yield a beautiful and evocative piece of architecture. This next concept is the silo, which is similar to what we had presented previously. I'll take us back to our digital model here, the silo house. And we're seeing this as having one dramatic picture window to the downtown skyline, a second one directed directly at the church, and then this really needs more refinement, but one thought we had was opening this up more dramatically to have an inside-outside bar so you can be perched at the edge of the silo and have a cup of tea while being surrounded by this lush garden. There's two images of the existing silo house that's just a block away towards the west. And this last concept that we're showing, we're calling float house. And float house is, again, it's a play on the ubiquitous house form, but it's an elevated form, similar to this precedent image we actually found, which this is a dark tinted glass. We'd be using something that's more transparent, and the effort would be for that ground floor to become very ephemeral, very transparent and ghosty, and that second floor volume to be comprised of a breeze block or a perforated stone. And the idea is, again, that you're taking these house forms that are throughout the neighborhood, and this is almost like it's a modern ghosted version of these homes. The second story volume would contain, again, the sort of the back of house, or everything but the patron space. The initial model that we made for Float House was actually just occupying the corner of the property. And this may well be the right answer for the project, but another thought we had was you could actually take this secondary volume, this hat, if you will, and extend the hat across the secondary volume, which is the existing bungalow directly to the south. And another thought was, you could actually turn this thing, let it turn the corner, let this thing be an L, and occupy the top of this other structure. So in this digital model we're looking here, if let's again say this was Teespressa, second floor would be storage, would be production, everything that can be produced that's not within the patron space. This single volume, which would have storage beneath and stairs above, and then you have the point of sale, and this could be just a few two-top tables, and that would lead to the outside and the garden beyond. So we look forward to hearing your thoughts on these new concepts. Thank you.